Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television, where your photos and videos count a great deal. Today on the show, rail operations in Enugu State derailed as abandoned coaches sit pretty ugly. Idiato erosion in Imo State swallows up the people's peace. Residents seek intervention. Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company gives a ray of hope to customers within their network as they step up the metering process. These and more on Eyewitness Reports. I'm Chris Elams. For a century or more, the rail system of transportation was the backbone of commercial activities in the eastern part of the country, especially Enugu, where coal mining was a big deal. Now, while the country is in dire need of a resurgence of alternative means of transportation, the Enugu State Station lies prostrate. Join us. Abandoned coaches, empty station, zero activities. The face of the Enugu Station of the Nigerian Railway Corporation. According to history, the Eastern Railway line was constructed between 1913 and 1916 following the discovery of coal in Udi, Enugu State, and was extended to Maiduguri in 1958 and 1964. As a narrow gauge with 3 feet 6 inches, 1067 millimeter peculiarity, the lines at the time of operation served as a beehive of activities, employing over 64,000 people and creating a boom for the economy.
It will help to solve unemployment because, as you rightly said, in Enugu, what made Enugu thick in those days was the coal corporation and the railway corporation, those two. But now none of them is existing. So how do you think we will deal with our unemployment problem until those industries are revived? They need to be revived. The railways carry the coal from Enugu down to the port in Port Harcourt for shipment to Europe and other parts of the world.
The current state of the railway line has taken its toll on business owners.
I used to move my goods up north through the rail. You know, I could buy a coach of the rail and put my goods. The cost of transportation will be very reasonable. The incidence of accident, the incidence of losses is so much reduced when you use the rail. And pilfering is almost non-existent until it stopped. You know, the effect is that when we move our goods through the rail, the cost is low. It gives us more profit. We'll employ more people in the factories, and the economy continues to churn. It's you know, but since we stopped seeing the rail in operation, the cost of moving goods from the east to the north or to the west has so much tripled in such a way that it is almost impossible to move goods because of the effects of poor infrastructures of road. The roads are so bad. Why is it so bad? Because the goods that are supposed to be transported through rail are transported through road.
Some retirees from the corporation who spoke with us off camera allege that for over 1 year now, the lines have witnessed no activities due to lack of coaches and damage done to the tracks. According to them, what some might call operations are underperforming locomotives plying Aba to Port Harcourt but come to Enugu station for repairs. Prior to the misfortune that has befallen operations, the state government had on several occasions made attempts to stop traders from invading the tracks with their wares by creating barricades. It's been an exercise in futility as the traders keep returning. While the economy of the southeastern part of the country bears the brunt, this has remained a focal point of the Southeast Economic Team, with regional integration as major high points.
We're looking at developing a network within the region that will connect also to other parts of the region, of the country, such as a network that is about not narrow gauge, but standard gauge network within the entire region. Actually, it should follow the line which was developed at some point by the federal government. There was a time when the federal government said they want to connect all the state capitals in the country. And this is what we want to use to do the network. But it will be private sector and federal government driven. And it's state government driven, with federal government support wherever it can.
For some others, restructuring is the answer to perceived neglect of the Southeast.
Federal government of Nigeria. It's the federal government of Nigeria that should have taken care of the railway system, taking care of all the property of the railways. It's not the people. If you have a house and you abandon your house, vandals will go into that house. Isn't it correct? So, because nobody cared about the Nigerian railways, nobody cared about the railway system, so people had to go there and do all kinds of things. But when the railway was functional, nobody dared to go to the railway to dump anything. It was busy day and night. And you had the railway officials who had the responsibility to look after the track, make sure they are well maintained. So if you abandon what belongs to you and then you turn around to blame some other people, it's not right. We must place the responsibilities squarely where it should be placed. It should be placed on the government.
At the time of filing this report, attempts to get the management of the Enugu Railway Corporation proved abortive, as they insisted they aren't disposed to speak on the matter.